Welcome back to the Buds and Box podcast. I'm your host, Eric Fogarty, and I'm joined with my two co-hosts today, Jude, Rondina, and Michael Feldbloom. How's it going, boys?
Hey boys, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
I don't know if you guys are talking to each other, but I'm just gonna assume that you're talking to me. I am actually pretty
Who else would we
excited.
be talking to? Like, what?
No, I thought you guys were
Is
having.
there a fourth person in this call?
No, I thought you guys were having an internal conversation.
Okay, you know what?
Oh.
We are gonna have a separate conversation now without you. I'm good, thanks, Sally. Thank you for asking.
Yeah. I like that Canadian flag in your background. Spice up the room a little bit.
Thanks, bro.
Yeah, Spotify
Thank
listeners
you.
are crying right
Yeah.
now.
You light up your room.
All our Spotify listeners, all two of our Spotify listeners. Honestly, if you're one of our listeners on Spotify and we don't know who you are, DM us on Instagram.
Yeah, or
We'd
like
love
and
to.
subscribe.
We'd love to get in touch. And we'll give you some information on the podcast and how it started and stuff.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. So
We
yeah,
love our fans.
do what Felly said. And yeah, that's a pretty good, as good of an intro as you're gonna get. And let's get into the Leafs versus Calgary game. So I
The
took
first
notes.
one.
Yeah, well, I'm doing the first one and the second one. No, we're doing both, combining.
You didn't specify.
I'm so sorry.
Okay,
But we're doing a
on
combination.
February 22nd, I think it was.
Yeah, February 22nd. Today's February 24th. So the first game I did write notes on. The second game I didn't because I probably could have blown my
He's
brains
lazy.
out instead. Well, there was nothing to write notes on other than the fact that Mikheyev and Tavares can't get a goal if their life depended on it. Anyways, Leafs versus Calgary, the third time they played each other this year, February 22nd. It was kind of a shit show, but you can't really blame the Leafs, right? Matthews and Marner can't step up at every single game. Other people have to step up. Looking at John Tavares, Nylander, literally anyone, all the new guys that were put into the lineup because I believe Hyman, Muzzin, Anderson,
Thornton, Campbell.
Campbell, VC got injured in the first.
Well, he came back
Muzzin?
and Simmons is obviously still out.
Yeah, Simmons.
Mm-hmm.
So they're
So
missing
that's
all that
six
guys.
key players.
Yeah. I was actually looking at the odds, and Calgary had better odds to win the game. If you bet on Calgary, you're going to win less money if you bet on Toronto, which I found was crazy. But anyway, yeah.
Well, technically, you'd
expected to lose.
Okay.
Yeah, if you have that many people out of your lineup, and Hutchinson, Hutchinson gets a little bit ripped on too much.
He played fine. He wasn't the problem. First game. The problem was Matthews and Nylander didn't show up, and David Rittich became
Jesus Christ.
Literally a reincarnation of Jesus Christ in the goal crease. So someone brought him down to earth in today's game at the end, but barely. So, but yeah, I think it was the factor of Matthews and Nylander not playing up to their full potential as they usually do, and nobody else stepping up in the bottom six or the bottom nine even. So
yeah. The other thing I noticed was the thing that really killed me in this game was the power play. They were throwing
0 for 7.
Mm-hmm.
1 for 7.
0 for 7.
0 for 7. Sorry, I thought you were talking about this game, but I realized they didn't score a goal this game either. So they have John Tavares, William Nylander, Morgan Riley, Austin Matthews, and Mitch Marner. That right there should make a team shit their pants. Like, you see that power play?
It's literally two of the top 5 scorers in the NHL right now in Matthews and Marner. And then a guy who's been in the league for 10 years, who's been an unbelievable player, John Tavares, who's known to be a goal scorer and a playmaker and can really do anything. And then William Nylander, who's had a hot hand at times. And then Morgan Riley, who's one of the best offensive D in the NHL. So, like, all 5 of those guys on the ice at the same time is scary, but not the past 2 games.
They look like there's 3-year-olds on the ice.
They look like the Wolverines and Drew and Eric on the ice.
Oh my God. Yeah, I mean, it was just comedic watching them because it's I don't know the exact amount, but it's probably somewhere around 50, $40 million a year
Yeah,
just
on the
fucking throwing
ice.
the puck to each other and missing it. Like it was a
I
joke.
mean, it's just like it's so upsetting. Like every time in this game and on the 22nd, it's like every time they do the same breakout. They need first of all, any team knows this. I don't care what level you play, you have to have two power play breakouts
Mm-hmm.
because otherwise it's just predictable every single time. And the Flames obviously were in their video room and said, "Oh, okay, here's the Leaf breakout on the power play. It's the only one they ever do."
Mm-hmm.
So one guy carries it up the middle and then drops it to another guy and then drops it to another guy. So just
Mm-hmm.
don't take the guy with the puck and just wait for it, like wait for the last guy. And it's like, okay, I could do that. I could think of that. And I'm not a bona fide NHL coach. Like if I can think of that, then I don't know, like these NHL coaches obviously think of it too. So it's like
Mm-hmm.
you need another power play breakout, and it's just so annoying seeing them go down like and do the same thing. They drop the puck, and then the one guy brings it in, and they try to dish it out to the boards, and it gets intercepted, and they rarely set it up.
Yeah, and
Mm-hmm.
the passes were just brutal.
Yeah, they weren't on. Anyways, who opened the scoring for the Flames? Um,
I didn't get the score who scored, but I wrote down that in 4 minutes into the first, I just said Hutchinson's trying his best. He should have had it, but I believe they shot it. It was
yeah,
kind of like I think Tavares tipped it and then went through his legs, and then I think
right. Oh,
Sam
it
Bennett.
was uh, it was
Sam
Sam
Bennett.
Bennett.
Yeah,
Sam Bennett scored.
Mm-hmm.
It was a bad, yeah. Hutchison should have had it, and it just trickled behind him. But
yeah,
whatever, like you can't expect much more out of him than what
yeah.
he's giving. He's a third string goalie at best in the
Mm-hmm.
NHL,
Unless he plays for the
maybe a
Avs.
backup, unless he has an Avalanche jersey on. But like
Mm-hmm.
he's maybe a backup at best, like a fringe backup. But
Mm-hmm.
like you can't expect him to do any more than he did that game.
Yeah,
So one goal against in the first period is not a big deal. And then they scored again in the
yeah.
second, I
He's let
believe.
in 7, so
Yeah, exactly.
in games. Yeah, and the next goal came in. So there's one in the first period, one in the second, one in the third. You can't ask for any more from Hutch. One goal a period. That's pretty
Mm-hmm.
fair, to be honest. He played
Yeah,
well.
yeah, yeah. No,
Yeah.
that's fair on 25 shots or whatever.
Yeah,
So you really can't expect more, and that's fine. Like if Anderson could do that, I'd be happy.
yeah.
So
Honestly. But yeah, Mikheyev, he was. I wrote a lot about Mikheyev actually. He really looked like he belongs in the North American hockey game. He's
Mm-hmm.
developed his two-way game and he's starting to get his speed. He really
Mm-hmm.
needs to work on
the
finishing because
thing
he had
is, like,
many chances.
yeah, the chances are there. Like that's the main point, though. Like
Yeah,
when you're Sheldon Keefe and
that's
you're looking at that,
100%.
you go, okay, well, there's chances, right? Like chances become goals.
Hmm.
Doesn't matter
Mm-hmm.
how long it's going to take him, as long as he keeps getting chances, goals are going to come. And I guarantee you that's what Sheldon Keefe is telling him. When you keep getting chances and you keep working really hard and you keep getting pucks on net, you're eventually going to start scoring goals. It's just going to happen. That's how the game of hockey works.
Mm-hmm.
Your puck is eventually going to go your way, and it's not right now, but it eventually will.
Yeah,
So
same regarding Tavares too. He's been
yeah,
playing really well the past 3 or 4 games, and
yeah,
both of
and
them
I
they just can't buy a goal.
Yeah, they just
yeah, I
can't
mean,
finish.
I think Tavares is just getting looked at even harder because he would be paying him $11 million a year, and he's supposed
Our
to
captain.
be the captain. He is the captain, but he's supposed to be, you know, the best player on the team
Mm-hmm.
other than Matthews. So he's supposed to be an all-star superstar guy, and he's not right now. And it's weird. Like at the end of last year too, it kind of felt like I don't know, it almost even felt like he was injured maybe or something's not right with him. Like
Yeah, I know what you mean.
skating's a little off. He's just not like looking like the
Mm-hmm.
same Tavares he is. Like it's
Yeah.
just weird. I don't know. It's not the same guy that they paid $11 million to come here and be a captain for, right?
Mm-hmm.
And his first year as a Leaf. Remember, he had 47 goals. So,
Yeah, that was a
I
great
mean,
year.
he'll be back. He'll be back.
Yeah.
Give it a little bit of time.
Yeah, once he starts getting going, then there'll be no stopping him.
Mhm.
But once the top two lines start contributing, I don't think you can put a stop to the Leafs. The sky's
Yeah,
the limit at that point.
I think a big factor for Tavares is having a winger that's hot too.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, Tavares is like known for when he was on the Islander, he's known for making wingers better.
Mm-hmm.
So you could see that like when he and Nylander are both on, they're pretty unstoppable. Like
Yeah,
they're
Yeah,
both
at the
yeah,
they in
at
the
the start of
first
the
in a few
season.
first few games of the season, you could tell they're both like unreal. Like together, they're on a bit of a slump, and that happens. So people are looking at it like, oh, it's the end of the world, but they'll be back. Like we'll talk about Nylander tonight, but
mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yeah. Let's go into tonight's game because that was basically it for the other game.
3-0
3-0.
finish.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Leafs got shut
Monahan scored
out.
the last goal. Tkachuk scored the second.
Right,
And it's
it
the
was a
first time the
tip.
Leafs were shut out all of for
And we waved
over the
goodbye to
whole season.
Matthews' point streak.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah,
It's unfortunate.
17 games or something. So
Yeah.
Yeah. And then tonight's game, the fourth game against Calgary this season, February 24th, I believe.
yep.
It was. I'm gonna be honest. I I was bored.
Yeah, it
I
was
didn't watch
honestly.
any part of the game.
Oh, I
This
did,
is
but I didn't
this
pay
is
the
what
whole
I
game.
gathered. This is what I've been gathering from like the Leafs past two games is Hutchison's in net, and the Buds are immediately thinking we have to get back. That's our first priority because we don't fully trust our goalie, which is completely fair. And if you've played hockey before, you know that if you don't trust your goalie, then you're thinking defense first no matter what, and you're not
Mm-hmm.
taking as many chances as you might. I think we only gave up maybe 1 2-on-1, if any, in both games. Like you could tell that the Leafs really didn't want to leave him out to dry, and they really shouldn't leave any goalie out to dry. But you can trust Anderson more than you can trust Hutchinson. So I think that was a huge factor when people are saying, "Oh, Jude literally texted me or texted our group chat during the last game and said like they're just way more confident with Anderson back there," and it got me thinking like exactly that they feel more comfortable taking chances and being more offensive when Anderson's in the net. So
Mm-hmm.
which is fair. So
Yeah. Even though he didn't have the start that we were all thinking Anderson would have, like coming off those playoffs, he was pretty fair last playoffs, and then now coming into this season, he was rough, cold off the start, but they still forced those plays, those 2-on-1s on him, those breakaways, those 1-on-1s, right?
Well, that's
I
the
don't know.
thing when the Leafs are like fully guns blazing, like goal scoring,
Mm-hmm.
they're often leaving one defenseman back because they're putting all the pressure on.
Yeah, and it
So
worked. So
yeah, of course, but like it works because Anderson bails them out a few times. You could
yeah,
see it in the Montreal game. I think it was the Montreal game on Saturday.
yeah, that first period.
He bailed them out like 7 times because they were trying to put the pressure on, and that's what you need in a goalie. And it's great what Anderson does, but that's how he got injured actually in that game, bailing
Mm-hmm.
guys out.
You guys were right. You guys said I think Felly said that he took a weird spill that one game, or that a weird stretch. One of you said that, and
Yeah,
then
you could tell.
Yeah,
You could
I
tell.
said that.
a couple games later.
Yeah,
Yes.
he went to make a remarkable save, and then he was just like feeling his groin, touching his penis. You know something was off.
Yeah, I mean, he kind of buried his head into the ice, like, and you could tell he was in a little bit of distress. But that was the first period, and he continued to play the game. So I think he's just a little off. Hopefully, he's back soon. He's day to day, so
Yeah,
he's not out or injured reserve or anything like that. So as
Mhm.
long as we get Campbell or Anderson back within the next few games.
I'm hoping to see Campbell back. I'd love him to steal the show here.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
I'd feel a lot safer if we have,
Mm-hmm.
and I think the guys on the team do too. So
Mm-hmm. For
like
sure.
potentially Anderson Campbell duo could be like almost like a Fleury Leonard thing, like.
I mean,
You
the
never
thing
know.
is, Campbell has potential. He was drafted in the first round.
Yeah,
He was the first drafted goalie in his year. He was a highly rated prospect, like coming into the NHL, and obviously it didn't really work out that way. He backed up quick for a while.
well, he actually played like Quick was injured one year. He played really
Yeah,
really well for like an
but
entire
yeah,
season for the Vikings.
exactly. That's what I'm saying is like he has potential to be a starter on a few teams. It's not the Leafs right now, obviously, because Anderson is playing well, but
And
he
and
could
you have
be a starter.
D'Agostini coming through the roots.
Of course, this guy has to bring up D'Agostini every video. He's kind of obsessed with him. It's a little weird at this point.
We're just kidding, but yeah, keep going.
Nah, I don't know. I'm just saying that he has still, I don't know, what is he, 27 or something?
He has that same potential that Anderson had on Anaheim, that he just
Yeah.
didn't really break through until he's on another team, and then we can fully see like those 2 games against Calgary. He played nuts. He played insane.
Well, I think
that game.
I think that's what people are that's what the Leafs are saying. That's what people are saying about the Leafs right now is Anderson. This is last year under contract, and the expansion draft is coming, and um, and they need to protect the goalie. So the reason they put Dell on waivers and have signed Hutchison is so they can protect um,
Campbell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think they want to protect Campbell to maybe make him a starter next year.
Yeah.
If they don't, they could save a lot of money. Campbell the starter next year, and potentially looking. This is a whole nother podcast, but we'll make a podcast on Leafs goalie situation for next season. But Binnington's a free agent. There's a lot of good goalie free agents, and the Leafs have potential shots at them. It's just because Anderson's contract is going to be gone. But that's a whole nother podcast that we'll do. But
For time's sake, I'll just summarize your point. Leafs fans shouldn't be as worried that Anderson is going to free agency.
Yes, exactly what I'm trying to say is because Campbell's there and there's a lot of good free agents. So if it's not Anderson,
Frederick Anderson. Go ahead, Phil.
If it's not Anderson, it's going to be someone else that's pretty good anyway. So
yeah, exactly. And it's not like we're losing Carey Price in his prime, right? Frederick Anderson, like he's good back there, like we were just talking about. Like leave him up for a 2-on-1 or something. He'll make the save most of the time, but I personally think Campbell can too. So time will tell.
Yeah. That was when you just to look at that trade. I think we got Campbell and
Clifford.
We got Clifford and Campbell. That was a great trade because I don't even know who we gave up like a pick or something.
Austin Matthews. Sorry, guys.
Yeah. Anyways, so this game on the 24th, February 24th.
Nothing really happened the whole game. Like it was scoreless.
Came down to those final 5.
Pardon?
Final 5 minutes.
Yeah, literally. Mikheyev had a bazillion chances. Tavares had a bazillion chances.
Can I touch on something quick?
Yeah.
I want to give you guys 3 names of guys who I think aren't getting the recognition they deserve, but are actually, despite like the poor offense these past 2 games.
I know one.
Who?
Boyd.
It's not Boyd. Honestly, Boyd is playing well too. We'll make him an honorary mention for my 3 list. But this game specifically, Barabanov.
Yeah.
Stood out.
He's noticeable.
Very noticeable, and he has a ton of skill. And it was noticeable this game. I think he's become more just relaxed. And I think he's getting used to the North American ice and everything that's happening. But you kind of wonder like why the Leafs have this guy in their lineup, like in the lineup, all like they've got all these great guys that they could put in, and obviously we're not seeing stuff at practice because he's a very skilled guy. Anyway, second guy is TJ Brody. I just think he doesn't get enough recognition, and he plays amazing. We give him recognition on the podcast.
Yeah.
No one ever says anything about him in the media. Nobody says anything about him in between periods. They don't interview him. Whatever. It's because he's not on the score sheet that much, but he just does his job. If you next game when you're watching, just literally watch Brody pick up the puck in the corner and do the exact right thing with it every time.
Yeah.
He doesn't give the puck away. He doesn't turn the puck over. He doesn't put his D partner in a vulnerable position. Anyway, I just think he's really solid.
No, that's crazy. I'm gonna branch off that because for some reason I just focused in on him on a couple plays. Like he stripped Lindholm, a great goal scorer, off the puck like 3 times to not like allow him to get a shot on like obviously a third string. So doing that literally could have saved the game all those 3 times, and all the times he's winning battles. He's doing exactly what we needed Barry to do, and you know what? I'm just glad we have him now.
Yeah, I mean, Barry, like that's not his game, and that's fine.
Exactly.
But that's not the guy the Leafs needed. Leafs needed TJ Brody, a guy like that. Yeah. And if you ask me, TJ Brody's the best guy in the league at doing those things. Stripping the puck off guys, breaking out the puck, making the first pass, putting his D partner in the best positions possible. Anyways, and the last guy doesn't get any recognition, but he stands out to me is Kerfoot. He looks unbelievable. I never realized how fast he was until like recently.
Yeah.
Because when you actually look at him, like he's fast, he chips the puck in, he goes and works for the puck, he gets chances, he does everything basically except finish. Another one of those guys. But they had him out with
me in bed.
You and who?
Me in bed.
In bed.
Oh, oh my God. You in bed with who, buddy?
So I agree with Felly for the most part, because I remember when that trade went through, and I saw Kadri, I was like, oh, like damn, that's gonna be tough. And then I saw Kerfoot, and I was like, you know what? I used to watch him play. I don't know why. I just watched him play. Like I guess in Avs highlights, he was just always there. He was always under the spotlight. He was always touching the puck before any type of play, you know what, for the Avs. So, and I also had him on my Hut team, but that's not important. So I just knew that I just had a feeling that he was a good trade off for Kadri. Like I don't personally think we lost that too far fetched with the Kadri Kerfoot aspect of it, because I think they're 2 similar players, and Kerfoot works really hard. So
yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say. Is like, Kadri's time was done here. He paid his dues. He did what he had to do, but his time was done. Coaches were getting upset with him. He was he needed a change of scenery, and it was obvious. Yeah. So trading him was the right thing to do. For Barry, But when I saw that, I said, okay, they're retaining half of Barry's contract. We're getting, I thought at the time, a good right-handed defenseman. He was a good right-handed defenseman, but, he was really good right-handed defenseman for just Kadri.
He's looking very good with Edmonton, right?
Yeah, he is. He's like one of the
leading defensemen. He was great on Colorado, so
yeah, that's a thing.
It looked good.
He had an off year, but that's the thing about being a defenseman on Edmonton. Just to go off for a second, is you really just have to break out the puck, and McDavid will do the rest.
True.
So it's like, anyway, you can look good as an Edmonton defenseman, but you got to be in the right place at the right time. But
exactly.
But anyways, what was I saying? Oh yeah, and then I literally think that Kerfoot for Kadri, that 1-for-1 is not a terrible trade even for either side. I mean, they're pretty similar.
You guys,
players.
I remember. I'm gonna throw you 2 under the bus here. You guys weren't so thrilled at the time as me. Like I wasn't like you guys were like, oh my god, like who the F word is Kerfoot? Like this is Kerfoot. Like who cares about Kerfoot? I was like, oh guys, like I've seen.
There's no way
he's not as bad. You guys are definitely like that.
There's no way.
You guys were Kadri bandwagon.
If I was like that, Kerfoot definitely grew on me. He's a good third line center, and Kadri was a third line center, and that's all he was going to be on the Leafs. So giving him the opportunity to go to another team was honestly the best for him. And actually, something really funny about that trade is that they tried to trade him to Calgary. Do you know about this?
Yeah, for Brody.
I'm getting a call. Okay, sorry. No problem. It was in my ears.
Oh.
They tried to trade him to Calgary for Brody, and he vetoed it.
I remember that.
So it would have been interesting to see what would have happened with Brody last year, and if it would have been any better, if the team would have looked different or what. Because just 1 year earlier could have made a difference having Brody instead of
for sure
Barry. So
yeah. Just to cut in on that trade, basically, you were right, Felly, about Kadri was a third line. Kadri is a second line center on a team with 2 elite centers. He's not going to get, second line ice time, right?
Yeah, exactly.
On Colorado, on the other hand, Kerfoot is a third line center. He was playing second line center minutes, right? And I honestly don't think anyone won that trade. It was a pretty fair trade. Toronto tried with Barry, didn't work out. Move on, whatever. But we got Kerfoot. We got the third line center that we needed, because you already know we were gonna have to pay Kadri more than we would have to pay Kerfoot.
Yeah.
So they both got what they wanted, and it's a win-win trade right there.
Yeah, for sure. And on top of the Kerfoot situation, I don't know. I just felt Kadri was like Felly said it all perfectly. Kadri was in a rapid decline here. I don't know, just the playoffs and everything. He was blowing up our Instagrams always. Another playoff suspension. Another playoff suspension. And then you know what? And then on top of what you just said, Eric, both teams went their separate ways, and we're both teams are doing great. So I agree. It was a pretty even trade.
Yeah, I don't think it was so much that Kadri wanted to get out or that the team wanted him gone, or because the Leafs obviously could use him. It's not like we couldn't use him, but it seemed like at the time it was like, get what you can for him and just get him out of here, because he's a good player. He deserves to be a second line center potentially. For both Kadri and the Leafs, it was just the best scenario. No matter where he went, just I think to get him out, because he was frustrated in Toronto, I think. So
yeah.
Anyway, moving on. Let's actually get into the game. But Giampani scored with about 3-4 minutes left.
Yeah.
And then miraculously, I literally screamed in my room.
Yeah.
Nylander somehow touched the puck under Rittich, and he looks like he isn't God Almighty after all.
I mean, it seemed like the Leafs, literally at the time, it seemed like the Leafs were never going to score again. I was convinced that I was going to watch 100 Leafs games and they were going to have 0 goals. But finally, Nylander puts it in, and that was a good dirty goal there.
Yeah, we just had bodies everywhere, and that was just it.
Yeah, and honestly, Tavares doesn't get credit for it, but Tavares had 3 whacks at the puck. He's right in there. He's going for the puck, and the puck squirts out to Nylander, but could have been anyone's goal.
Yeah,
I think, honestly, you're right. I thought it was Tavares at first, but I think the TSN turning point there was actually when Hyman celebrated and hit Tavares in the face with a stick. I thought that changed the whole game. I don't know about you guys, but did you see that when he went down? He was
definitely lit a fire in Tavares for the rest of the 2 minutes.
Yeah, and then Nylander in overtime scores a really nice goal. And
unbelievable from Matthews.
Yeah,
Matthews with 2 assists, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Back to he's second in the league in points now and first in goals. So that's pretty amazing.
That was such a sick goal, and it just came out of nowhere, right? We were so used to just I don't know, just 60 minutes of just and then he just bar down.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was amazing.
Yeah.
I think all it took was 1 goal on Rittich to just ground him. What?
Riddick. You guys said Riddick.
Whatever. Just to ground him, bring him down because he was feeling himself. Like 71 straight saves in 2 games. He was feeling himself. One goal against, and he immediately went into a shell. And Nylander pretty easily put that by him. Honestly, it was a very nice play, but first period, Rittich probably would have had it. Riddick, whatever.
Yeah, really.
Yeah. All right. So the Zoom call is about to end. So we'll end it on this note. Leafs win, 2-1 in overtime, and we'll take it still first place in the league. So thank you guys for listening. And I wrote down something. I had a joke, but now I forget the joke.
Nice.
Come on, say it.
I don't remember.
You wrote it down.
I just wrote down Taxi Squad joke, but now I don't remember it.
Alex Galchenyuk is on the Taxi Squad, by the way.
Thank you for that information.
Yeah, interesting information.
I'd like to see him play. I don't know. Do you see him in practice? Do you see those clips?
Yeah, he could be good.
All right.
Who knows?
Always
something weird. I don't know what the angle is there, but it's kind of interesting that they traded for him.
All right. Well, it's the league gonna end in like 10 seconds. So thank you guys for watching or listening, whatever. And we'll see you guys next time. Bye.